The 4th of July is an American federal holiday. It celebrates a certain country getting independence from another country. Now, I'm not going to get into the politics of all of that, but yes, it's a federal holiday in America. And in case you didn't know, the developers are American, so therefore they follow this federal holiday system. But more importantly for us, they will likely put out an update on the 4th of July. Well, likely. Obviously, this being an American federal holiday, everyone's in the mood for spending, and in Tower Defense Simulator, there's typically been an update revolving around some exclusive items that are added on the 4th of July. Now, the game was released in June 2019, which meant that there was just enough time to release a 4th of July code, that being 4th of July, Happy 4th, which it gave 84 EXP. If 84 EXP sounds a bit random, I think it kind of is. Except, I just realised, 84 is the kind of the date of the 4th of July, except you say it 4th of July, you don't say July the 4th, therefore it should be 04/08 dash whatever the year is. Here, what the developers have done is they've gone 08/04, and it ends up with 84. Now, do bear in mind that I heavily disagree with this way of dating. In fact, I have gone on record to say it is the worst way of making a date, and it is the system that America uses. And yes, in my formal capacity, I have to say, well, this is what the Americans do. In my informal capacity, it is the worst way to write a date. And I have also gone on record that changing the developer's mind when writing out dates. They don't write out the date in numerical form because their form is stupid. They've gone on record to now write it out in full, saying either like the July the 4th or 29th of May or stuff like that. Or they've just included the date with a time which changes with whatever time zone that you're in. So yes, I do have undue influence on the developers. Change the fucking way how they write their dates and their times. So yes, when the 4th of July 2019 update was released, the only other change was to the lobby. In 2019, there was the original lobby that had like the beach and everything. Yes, that was changed over into a dark night setting, which, bear in mind, during the normal period of Tower Defense Simulator, it was during the day, as if it was like a SpongeBob setting. And there was a 4th of July statue in the middle of the lobby with beef chocolates holding a minigun in front of an American flag, obviously very patriotic. In 2020, we would get much of the same, except we didn't get a code that year. I do believe that year we got another lobby change, that being dark, but then we also got fireworks around the lobby, and in addition to that, we got a statue in the middle of the waterfall in that lobby. Then in 2021, we didn't receive an update per se, but we did receive a sale, of that being the Firework sale. Now, the Firework is an emote that normally comes back during the 1st of January to celebrate New Year's, but it also comes back on American Independence Day. So on the 4th of July 2020, it was released for 175 Robux, then 2021, 200 Robux, 4th of July, then in New Year's, 31st of December, in 2021, it was 250 Robux, then 4th of July 2022 for 250 Robux, and then 4th of July 2023 for 200. You'll notice 2024 missing. I would have to assume that is because the developers didn't make a significant amount of money. After all, it's an emote, and it only costs about 250 Robux at max. And I can't lie, I don't think the demands for emotes, even ones that are exclusive and technically what we call an event emote, are all that popular. Hence why I don't think it's actually returned since. However, that being said, it did return on 31st December 2024 for 200 Robux. So, there's every chance that the Firework emote does return as a Game Pass in the 2025 edition of the 4th of July update. But what's also likely to return is the Fireworks modifier. The Fireworks modifier is a modifier that appears on the 4th of July. And in fact, it lasts 2 days on the 4th of July because I believe in 2021 or 2022, I can't actually remember when modifiers were first added to the game, the Fireworks modifier was the first day triggered modifier to be added to the game, and it was added on the 4th of July. So I guess to celebrate the fact that modifiers have been added to the game, they extended the Fireworks modifier being in the game for 2 days, from the 4th of July to the 6th of July, whereas typically these kind of things end on the day after they were added. So for example, for National Cowboy Day, there is a cowboy emote that's enabled on all matches, and that only lasts 1 day, whereas the Fireworks modifier lasts 2 days. There wouldn't be a 2022 4th of July sale, but there would be a 2023 version, and a lot of Game Passes actually did go on sale, including, I believe, the first time that the Vigilante skin bundle came on sale. Furthermore, the Gladiator returned for the 4th of July 2023 sale. Now, interestingly, there wouldn't be a 4th of July 2024 sale. What's common is the fact that in the years where there is no 4th of July sale, there's a Memorial Day sale, and in the years where there's a 4th of July sale, there doesn't appear to be a Memorial Day sale. That excludes 2021, which is the first, I guess, year where we had like proper sales for like nearly every single federal holiday in America. And interestingly, this year we would have a sale for Memorial Day from the 26th of May to the 28th of May. So perhaps that lends some credence to the fact that there may not be a 4th of July sale, given the fact that I assume the developers don't want to make sales all of the time, otherwise people would wait for them. Memorial Day sale is in May and the 4th of July sale is in July, so there is a gap of about 2 months. Whether or not the developers actually do make a 4th of July sale this year, based on the fact that we did have a Memorial Day sale, we'll just have to see. Now, typically, sales in Tower Defense Simulator have gone with a tower, event tower, coming back as a game pass to be sold. However, in recent times, that hasn't been the case all of the time. So, for example, during the Memorial Day sale, there wasn't a return for an event tower, even though this was a sale where you typically saw an event tower returning. Yes, there was an event tower already being sold, that being the Biologist Tower, but there was no returning event tower. The returning event tower technically was the Swarmer, but that was because the Swarmer was recently reworked. And in fact, you'll notice that the recent event towers that have come on sale are due to some additions or some changes to their tower. So, for example, on the Valentine's Day sale, the Executioner was put on sale because there was a new skin for it, the Heartbreak skin. That was a quest, and the developers, seeing an opportunity for money, of course put the Executioner back on sale so that you could actually get the Executioner, and then get the Executioner Heartbreak's skin. Then, for the Jester Tower, that was put on sale for the April Fool's update because there was some new skins for it, namely the Flea and the Beast Jester skins. However, given that this is the 4th of July, and there's never been an event on the 4th of July, I don't ever think that an event tower was returned for this, or will be returned for this. However, I have the Firework Technician here. I do have a theory that perhaps the developers will re-add the Firework Technician as a quest. Now, this is typically because there are some features of New Year sales and New Year updates that are shared with the 4th of July updates. So, typically, in the New Year's updates, there's been the Fireworks modifier, even though it explicitly says that the description is for the 4th of July. That returns on New Year's from the 1st of January to the 2nd of January. But additionally, the Fireworks emote returns, and that is also a New Year's thing. And in fact, the original intent for the Fireworks emote would be for New Year's. So the fact that it returns on the 4th of July is just the developers porting over a celebration from New Year's to the 4th of July. The Firework Technician was first added on the 31st of December 2024. It is distinctively a New Year's tower. I think the developers, what they might do is they may add the Firework Technician quest, because it was gotten through a quest, not through a game pass. They may add it through a quest that is released on the 4th of July and may last a week. That's me just speculating. The Firework Technician seems to be a celebratory tower, and it doesn't really seem like a tower that's tied to New Year's all too much. It seems like it's a American skin, as you can see here, stars and stripes and everything. So I would perhaps think that maybe this tower returns for New Year's. Anyways, that's my speculation. It's not confirmed, but I do think that it may return. The one reason why I would not think that it's returned is because its quest was a little bit buggy. So if you got the quest and the developers then deleted the quest, yeah, it caused a load of issues with the Firework Technician. This is because for some reason you could claim the Firework Technician quest more than once. And when the developers removed the Firework Technician quest, they actually did reward anyone who had the quest outstanding the Firework Technician Tower. This is unlike some other skins in the game where the developers then deleted it, such as I think the Core Blocks Electroshocker quest. When they deleted it, people still had the quest active. It's just that the developers removed it from ever being completed. So you technically had an outstanding quest to do, but you couldn't complete it. Hopefully developers don't make the same mistake for the Firework Technician, given the fact that I think this is the last event quest, I guess, to allow you to get the tower after the quest has been removed. I would assume it will be changed over for the fact that if the Firework Technician's quest was added to the game, you would have needed to beat that quest in the time frame that the developers give to you, which is why I say a week. Now, there could be some exclusive skins that are added to the game on the 4th of July. So, for example, the Patriotic Commander, I do believe, was added on the 4th of July in 2024, and indeed it was. However, that being said, it's not an exclusive 4th of July skin. It is in the deluxe crate. It was just that the 4th of July update was marketed around the Patriotic skin. However, I do believe that this was the first 4th of July skin to be added to the game in 2024. So there's not really a precedent of skins being added for the 4th of July, like there is for, let's say, the 4th of May, although even then, that was only in 2023, and those skins didn't return for 2024, and the Patriotic skin can't return because it's already in the game, you can still get it. So I'm led to believe that I don't think there's going to be a 4th of July skin. at least on what the evidence says in the past. However, I could be proven wrong. I'd like to be proven wrong. Maybe there's going to be a whole new update for it, and there's going to be a new map for 4th of July. We'll just have to see. As for any lobby changes, who knows? Typically, there have been some lobby changes, as mentioned previously. In 2019 and in 2020, there were some changes, and I believe in 2022 or 2023, there were some fireworks that were added in the middle of the map. Or that could be for New Year's. I actually don't remember if that was for the 4th of July. In any case, I don't expect the lobby to change all too much either.